Where do you want me?
Right there is perfect. This will be your main camera.
All right, cool. Hi, my name is Johan Gustafsson. I write music. I am music producer, songwriter, instrumentalist, and I've been writing songs for 20 years, about professionally. And I've written for a big bunch of the K-pop stars. I've done a lot of dance and EDM. I've done a lot of pop in America as well and around the whole world. People would probably know me most for stuff I've done in Korea.
Which is super fun, especially since you were, I feel like, one of the original international songwriters, like, invited.
Yeah, it was quite early. I went to school back in 2008 and I think it was already in 2009 or something when I, through my then publisher who signed me straight out of school, introduced me to this, which was very new. It was extremely new. The first act he showed me was Girls' Generation. So he played a few things and we were like, okay, we should try this. Some of the first songs we did was picked up by, and the first cut I ever got was with Girls' Generation.
Is this Flower Power?
This is Flower Power, yeah, great.
Do you remember what was going through your head at that time? Were you like, what is this? Or you were like, oh yes, like my dream is coming true.
Yeah, okay, so the crazy thing is here, we thought, because it's such a grand scale, so we thought, let's make the song, send the song, see what changes they want to make, and go back, because this is a demo, right? So we just made for us a rough demo, but they just took all of it. So like, I love the song, but it's like, could have had a few more hours of like polishing. It's a little bit rough around the edges, I think. That's like the story, how it goes. Like, either they pick something or they don't, but they usually just like love something. Nowadays they do more revisions, but that in the beginning it was more like they jumped in and like, yeah, let's take it.
Flower Power back then, was that originally the concept?
Oh yeah, even Flower Power, like the lyrics for Flower Power, the demo, is I'm not gonna fight fire with fire, oh, cause I'm a lover, not a fighter. Oh, Flower Power. So when we heard the butterfly thing and everything, we were like, we have no idea what this means.
That leads me to wonder what some of the most dramatic like title or concept changes have been from your demo to a published song.
I did this song called Oxygen for Twice, and I wrote that together with Josephine Glenmark. And that song originally was called Pizza Boy. So it's quite a flip.
Yeah, what was Pizza Boy about? Just a cute pizza boy?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like a cute pizza boy who comes and is, can't remember exactly.
Did you guys have pizza that day?
We had, I think, pizza that day.
Nice.
Probably came from like,
right about that.
They say that you should follow your gut. Huh? I have, since that day, been, weirdly enough, quite successful every time I have food topics in my songs.
That is super fun to hear.
Yeah.
And if we were to throw it back to that area you were talking about, like Run Devil Run and the switching up with I Got a Boy and the production that you enjoyed making with all the little details.
Yeah.
SHINee's 1 Minute Back is a song that immediately comes to mind.
Yeah.
Because this is one of those songs that I think is full of so many unexpected sound effects that almost feels like a storyline is happening. So we got that car.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing one of you just drove.
Yeah.
Like, let's record a car song.
We did that for so many songs. These are Red Velvet songs. Okay, here.
One of the Red Velvet
One of my songs that is out.
Yeah.
We called it Lowrider. It might be called Lowrider. I can't remember. It's a Red Velvet song, I think.
There's definitely not a Red Velvet song.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Well,
There's
in
Parade.
that song. Is it Parade? How does that? Is that?
Yes.
If you listen to that song, the hi-hats are bicycle like wheels that I turn like.
Because I was curious.
Yeah, and like.
That's the
like
wheel.
Is it called spokes?
Spokes. Yeah.
On the bike.
Yeah.
The thin thing.
Did you just like take a stick and
like, and then I just make it try to be in tempo and then I like cut it up. So it's like.
Do the sound effects come first and then the concept come later? Or?
Oh yeah, mostly yeah. I love using grooves that are like normal grooves, not too like often weird time signatures, but I pick weird sounds instead. It's like hi-hats for bike. Open it up a soda can. Done that many songs.
So if we hear like a strange sound in one of your songs, it's most likely you just fiddling around.
Oh yeah. There's very few samples I use for soundy sounds. Okay, now we're gonna go to the AI world. Why do people make music with AI? Why? Because the whole idea of making music is that it's fun to create it. Why would you want to take the fun out of it? And that's the same with using just like, for me, Splice or whatever sample library. If I need a flute thing, I grab a flute. Isn't that the purpose of like, you learn something new? To me, I enjoy like going to a shop and like, I need to buy like the weirdest little percussive thing because I need a lot of space. I have an extra studio just for gear. And it's just, you know, it's fun. Like I can't play the cello, but I can make like, and little staccatos and, you know, basic things. And same with like my weird sitar guitar, like I'm a guitarist, but that just makes weird sitar noise. It's just weird. So yeah, if you hear a specific sound that is weird, I probably just done it myself.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear, because then what we can do is we can go through some of these songs that I find so fascinating and just make sure we lock down and we know what you did to make that sound.
Yeah, interesting.
So here.
It's me. Oh yeah, that's me and Sebastian Lundberg. He goes.
That is really fascinating. Is that a voice?
Yeah, do you know what I think it is? I had just bought my OP1, which is like a little mini sampler thing, and I used it for like everything. So I think I just went like boo, and I boo, and that might be true, or it could be a lie, because I don't remember. But it sounds like it's not like a sample because it's a little bit too like offish.
Speaking of weird extra stuff, let's continue with Parade. So we've got a lot of noises of a crowd. Kids?
Yeah, it might be kids.
Do you remember where and how you guys captured that?
No, I don't, unfortunately. So the idea of lowrider, the story is like thinking of as you're like on a lowrider car, but it's a bike. Okay. Like you're a kid. Yeah. So you're rolling through the streets.
I feel like they're the coolest shit.
But like on a little trike.
I love that so much, and that's maybe why you decided like, oh yeah, let's make sure like there's a lot of voices. Maybe you're like riding through school.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just like friends of ours or friends with kids, or you know, brother has 4, my sister has 4 kids, so it's like use that sometimes. Yeah,
who needs to buy samples of crowds when your family itself is
exactly.
is a crowd? One of my questions for you is like, do you have a favorite like sound bite that you've made that ended up in the track? And I feel like every single song is going to have at least 5.
I have, but I'm not going to give it away. Because if you know, you will hear it.
But can you tell us at least the song?
No.
How wait, don't do this to me.
Reoccurring sounds. We all do them. I have my favorites.
Okay, you have a favorite. And is it something you made with your mouth or you did?
Both.
And it's a reoccurring sound, so we definitely hear it more than once.
Yeah.
Because like with Happily Ever, we have the car unlock sound.
Speaking of the car blip, I did another song called for NCT 127, the first song I did with them. Welcome to My Playground. That song, there is a bunch of children laughing. A fan emailed us. I'm not gonna point or say any, but there was a fan email and asked about, because she said, in a point in this song, you hear a gunshot, and all of a sudden you don't hear the children anymore. And I was like, what the f? And this person had emailed our whole team, and like, so I had to go in and I looked and I was like, we don't have any gunshots. But in one part of the song, I have a car door that goes kaboom. And in the song, I had, and this was great because it made the song dynamically, but I've forgotten to copy the file, the vocal, the kids after that point. I just forgot to copy it. But these people read up and read so much into the message and thought there was some kind of like, you're shooting children. And I was like, it's just a car door, and me forgetting to copy the audio to the next. And I just felt like, oh my God, I have so much more responsibility than I think. It was not on purpose.
That's why in Body Talk we still have like, Parade, we still have the kids at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
You remember
the kids are there. The kids are all right. I love having ambience that sits underneath anything. Like even if it's just like a intro with just a pad or something, I always have something that is like changing, not rhythmically, because it kind of fools you. It kind of puts you in a state of like, where are we? And you need something to hold on to. And it's cool in body talk, but like in songs where it's like longer notes, it's like, where am I? And if you don't get the time signature, it's important to have like, it's like an ASMR thing.
Yes.
I've done that even where I've had just recorded the silence in the room, because there's something about, especially if you listen to old records where they did not just the tape noise, but there's like, you can listen to the silence. So hard to explain, but if you really listen, then it's like, try to reproduce that, all of you who produce. Take like old Rolling Stones records and listen to like how wide it is, or the Beatles, and try to recreate the feeling of having 2 or 3 elements without it sounding thin or weird. It could be anything. I think I have several songs where we talk about completely different things in the background. We're like, what did you do today? Yeah, I bought a soccer ball. Okay, I had fish. It's just a rambling, and then you just put like 15 layers of it, and it's like, and it's just super low, and it's really cool. So there's probably a lot of weird stuff in the background.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I would like to do another throwback song for...
We did a demo, and I think the original song ended up keeping like the main of it, and then we couldn't find a great, phrase that we liked, so we just put in Namaste tarata. And I think that ended up in the final because they just liked the flow.
Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun.
That's the one. That was originally.
Oh my gosh, because
So there's a tarata.
What was your concept as you were writing this that made you just go, guys going like, I don't know what to say here?
Here's the thing, by the way, Happily Ever After was our original lyric. That is the original title.
It stayed.
Yeah, so it stayed. The few songs, Body Talk was Body Talk. Mr.E was also.
Mr.E was you guys?
Yeah, that's also us.
Bro, it wasn't listed on your, that wasn't listed on your Spotify.
Oh yeah, it is.
You need to fix that.
Is it not?
No, you need to fix that.
Oh, I need to fix that. Yeah, we did Mr.E. I think it says 180 songs there, but I think I've written
You've probably done more.
I've done 250.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And is that background? Dun, 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 dun. Is that like a...
The sitar thing?
Sitar.
Yeah, I think we did. Play it again.
Yeah.
I think we didn't have a sitar, so I think we did it with like a guitar. Oh, the bring. Oh, dang. I think what I did was actually not that. I took out a guitar and I put like chopsticks on the strings and just went like ding, 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 ding,
so
ding, ding, ding.
Kind of worked out in the end like a hammered dulcimer, but
Yeah,
not quite.
exactly like a dulcimer. Yeah.
And then we've got the, is that like the slap?
It's like the rattles. What do you call them? They look like
vibra
that.
slap?
Yeah,
Vibra slap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and there's a ton of jungle
song.
noises?
There is a bunch of them. The jungle noises, I did not go to the Amazons. It's probably like a sample pack with like weird animal noises. So yeah.
Little do we know that he's actually lying and
Yeah,
he
exactly.
go to the Amazon.
Amazon.com. Give me a lion. Speaking of another song like Ice Cream Cake, that song had a different key in the chorus in the original demo. But the label like, can you just change to this key? And we were like, what? And it does change to the chorus. So the jump was like, and then, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Were there any other edit notes that the label made for Ice Cream Cake?
Our original demo was very specifically, I think it sounds exactly the same.
So then you already had in mind like the amount of chromatic melodies.
Do you know where it comes from? From that la 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 la.
Tchaikovsky.
Yeah, so we had that in mind, and we were like, can we do da 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 da?
Is that why in the production there's the music box as well? Because
yeah, I like like always music boxes are weird and scary, and like the hybrid of super poppy and like it's haunting and what's the word, tinkering.
I was wondering, there's also a moment in the song, the lead up to the hook the syncopated synth. Was that by any chance inspired by the Macarena?
Play that again.
Do you hear that now?
Dun, dun, dun. That is funny. I've never thought of that. Yes. No.
Totally,
100%.
You had 2 songs on their Rookie album, Happily Ever After and Body Talk.
Yeah.
Some of the best K-pop songs to exist.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Period. Any artist.
Body Talk is a big favorite of mine. That song, we heard a song with Alicia Keys called Try Sleeping with a Broken Heart. And I loved the idea of writing a song with a lot of movement in the chords, but the vocals would be kind of like straight or like normal. So from that song, thank you Alicia Keys, because that inspired me to do Body Talk. We had this Virus TI Axis synth that had that fantastic like, you know, the groove, everything is like very like, they don't really care about us. And it was so fun, and there's this chord. We changed one chord in the whole. Yeah, there we go. I love that a lot.
Can we get into like the music theory nitty gritty? Like, do you have a theory for why the intervals chosen with these chords like can affect the emotion so much of the listener?
First of all, I want to address the heritage of Swedish music. Anyone who's done this the most is ABBA. Like that thing is like na na da 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 da. There's something about the tensions, especially like I don't know how deep is this, like a nerdy channel? So
yeah, it's a nerdy channel.
So like we love dominance. We love like those big majors, like leading chords, and we have a Swedish word called vemod, which is, if you checked it in the dictionary, it means something, and for me it means it's either happy or sad, kind of. I think the description is actually something slightly different, but
bittersweet.
Bittersweet, yeah, kind of is.
A little sweet,
yeah,
a little bitter.
And if you think of it as a melody, it's like you don't know if you're in a happy or sad state, and it changes. So like melodically, it'd be like ba 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 da 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 ba da 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 rai ran da 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 ran da 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 da. So it's like it goes in between those things, and I think chord-wise we have that as well when we play, and it's like haunting. It's, to me, the most haunting chord is always the major chords. Sometimes we would even like, how far can we go with just going like, here's one chord, here's a chord, and we lead here. And surprisingly, you can literally throw in whatever you want between 2 chords, as long as it's not too much away.
And then you can argue as it's a passing tone.
And then exactly, or actually all notes are passing notes, because there is always like, literally, you're always one key away from the key.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're always one note away from a key note.
Right.
A lot of my songs, especially like I love, like for example, like the Lacrimosa from Requiem, Mozart, is a big inspiration to these like interesting key chain things. We just keep going to the minor, going to the minor, going to the minor. A lot of the like that's, I'm picking my favorite chord things from other people all the time. I just love what other people have done, and then I can make my own thing out of it.
Since you have been part of the K-pop music industry for so long, have you noticed at all how like the sound has changed, and do you have like a favorite era of sound? Or
I definitely think it's changed. My favorite era was probably at that time when Girls' Generation was still doing like Run Devil Run. I loved like when there was a little bit cinematic. I loved like the grooves there. I also loved the era because it was still like K-poppy, but it was like we found our sound. It doesn't sound like old Britney or Pussycat Dolls, and it doesn't like we're not trying to fit a mold, and it doesn't sound like old school K-pop. So I love that. I love that song. I love a song called Eat You Up with Boa. There is another song with FX, I think it is, called No Abu. I think that was their debut. And that, if you look at the stuff I listen to, when I listen to music, is so different. Like, I only listen to like Elliott Smith. I listen to only like organic acoustic guitar and like vocals. And
you produce like the exact
opposite. It's very complete opposite. But that's the thing, like the stuff I love to produce is like very high octane, like doesn't have to be like aggressive, but it's like a lot of interesting details, and it's fun and it's vibrant. I loved when it was cheery, and it was like G with Girls' Generation or Genie and those songs, like they were very like light. And that was great. I love that. So I like the lightness of the pop in K-pop. I mean, I think like my favorite is still to come, to be honest. Like I think there's a lot more.
Do you have a favorite K-pop musical trend right now?
No.
No.
I'll just say no, I don't. Because here's the thing, recently I have only been doing my own thing and I only listen to my old vinyl records, and that's the music I listen to because it inspires me to not listen to charts or Spotify. Spotify is great for some people or most people. To me, it gives me something that I know I already like and I need to be surprised. I would love to tell people to broaden their perspective, and Spotify is great for certain things to get your stuff out. What I love about the K-pop scene is the fact that you have records that you buy and you have the physical thing. And one big international breakdown of internet takes away all music. I'm not saying because we all already live in a quite like commercialized system with you buy too much stuff already, but maybe cherish what you have more and maybe look into more your, like I like this artist, maybe learn more about. I would like everyone to just look into themselves and like, what can I do to help what we already have? Just be more cultural, just go to concerts, play in bands, make more music, play more instruments, have more fun. There's so much people on this planet that love culture and we have so much opportunity. Everything is almost for free, making videos and everything. It's like you can make so much with so little today, so it doesn't even have to cost that much. But don't take away the platforms then. Yeah.
Make touring more accessible.
Yeah. Make it more accessible and pay people.
Yes.
That's the thing. And
where can people follow you?
On social.
Yeah, on socials. Like, is there anything you want to promote?
Yeah. So I try to stay away from social media.
Okay.
Yeah. I delete the apps and then every now and then I install Instagram to maybe post about something I release or whatever. But in general, I stay away from a lot and I hang out with my dog and my wife.
Yes.
And I love life.
Yes.
Leo, say hello to the camera. Leo!
This is Prince Leo Alexander the First.
Oh, the best puppy.
He
This
is.
interview has ended on such a nice fuzzy note.
Yay.
Yay.
Do you always add something extra in your final courses?
I do. If you listen to this whole thing together, and you listen especially here, there's like a squeak. I like that it can be like melodic and like Foley at the same time.